Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to today's update. In today's video, we're going to be updating you guys on Hurricane Ian. Currently, right now, as a Category 3, just left Cuba, and now it's making its way towards the Florida area. And landfall is to be determined. As of right now, we're going to keep an eye on that. Some models have shifted towards the south a little bit and putting Tampa Bay on the left side of hand, which would be good for Tampa Bay, but very bad for Fort Myers. So you guys can look and get the marker out, and guys, you can see that this storm has an eye on it. It has weakened a little bit since it made landfall over Cuba, but it's gonna currently get back into the Gulf of Mexico, eventually making it away, and then eventually pushing up into Florida, which is going to cause this storm to form even more, which is going to become a Category 4 right before landfall. So you guys can see, looking at this right now, we have very rapid rotation. Like I said, only the winds went down 10 miles an hour and the pressure went up just a tad bit, but since then it's going to go back up because it's going back on the Gulf of Mexico, and then eventually make its way to Florida, like I said. So you guys can see very rapid rotation on this thing, very healthy, no dry air, just dry air on the west side of it. And as it makes its way to Florida, we're going to take a look at the rain bands that are coming on the floor right now. Like I said, definitely feeling the effects right now, and just because it's not even near, it's just came off of Cuba, you're still feeling the effects. All these squall lines are definitely kicking in for parts of Miami. Like I said, majority of Florida is going to get some type of rain off the storm. Like I said, with squall lines kicking in, you know, Miami, you guys can have a few gusts of winds. And then you move on to a part of Florida, you're looking at it, and pretty much as it makes its way, we're just even with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay might be just feeling that rain just hit them just a few minutes ago, but like I said, that is just the start of it for you guys. Tampa Bay, Fort Myers, Clear Waters. Now, since the track has moved south a little bit, that is going to put Fort Myers and Clear Waters under a very bad situation. In Tampa Bay, yes, that would be good for you guys because, like I said, you guys are on the left-hand side of the storm, but still does not mean you guys are going to see the severe weather, flash floods. Surge still is very possible with this storm with you guys. So like I said, just because you're not on that right hand side of the storm, can't talk today. Like I said, right hand side of the storm does not mean anything. You can still have the same impacts, just lesser wind impacts. And like I said, squall lines could definitely spin up for parts of anywhere in here. Like I said, that can produce tornadoes, gusty winds, and all that type of stuff. So that is your guys' radar for right now. So taking a look at it right now, Hurricane Ian, and you guys can see the location is 22.6 north, 83.6 west, and the maximum winds are 110 kT. Minimum central pressure is 950, which is pretty. It's on the verge of being the Cat 4 now. Once we predict that it's going to get in here into the Gulf of Mexico, it's definitely become a Cat 4. So, looking at this, we're going to take a look at the intensity guide real fast. And like I said, Category 4 in the next 24 hours, definitely. And a lot of models have been showing that landfall is definitely going to be sooner a little bit. Like I said, just because you're not on the right-hand side of the storm does not mean you're going to see surge, rain, wind, flooding, all that type of stuff. If you're on the right-hand side of the storm, well, you're in badder luck because you're definitely going to see some gusty winds. We're talking about probably I'm going to say around 120 to 130 mile an hour winds gusts. Sustained winds are probably going to be around 70-80 miles an hour. Like I said, have evacuation planned. This is going to be very dangerous. Like I said, either way. But you know, do the right thing. Check the weather channel. Stay with your local weather officials. Make sure you guys are safe and not in harm's way. Like I said, now with the cone being shifted very south, with Tampa Bay being on the left side of the hand storm, like I said, that's going to put Fort Myers on the right hand side of the storm, which is going to be worse for you guys, and Clear Waters. And then eventually you see by 8 a.m. Fridays on just about affecting Jacksonville right on top of it. Now we are predicting Not all the models are showing it, but the GFS and European did show it last night, and then this morning's run that we might up seeing it go back into the Atlantic and do something like this right on top. Like I said, the National Weather Service has not put that cone out. In fact, you know what? I do not like this. If you see this dot, I do not like going off that because I think this is very inaccurate. It's a 5-day forecast. It's kind of hard to predict 5 days out. You know, we're still even 3 days before, 2 days before landfall. We still do not have a set landfall. Now, keep in mind this cone can fluctuate, move around, and pretty much that's what's going to end up happening. We can definitely see it maybe move towards the north a little bit, maybe move towards the west, east. Like I said, anything's possible still, but I think this is going to be a good visual idea. I think this is pretty set where it is. This is, like I said, we're only 48, 72 hours away from landfall. So like I said, that's intensity. Here is the hurricane hunters. They flew out, and as the storm keeps getting bigger, the wider it gets, the more wind it carries on the right side of the hand storm. So pretty much when the storm was very small, you guys could see during live stream last night, it was only about this big, maybe a little bit smaller than that. As the storm keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, that right hand side of the storm is going to get bigger along with it. And as it keeps growing and the wider it gets, then eventually it's going to keep expanding its wind field for parts of the right hand side. Now, I'm not saying if you live on the left side or you're on the left side of the cone, does not mean you guys are not going to get anything, because we're even talking about average sustained winds around a good 83-64 kT, which is around 85 miles an hour for gust and all that. Like I said, just because you live on the left side of the storm does not mean nothing. Now, you can definitely tell where the right hand side of the storm is and then the center is, and that's definitely right here. You can definitely see it. You can even see it on radar clearly too. But that's what the hurricane hunters have updated, and they eventually get the 2 o'clock advisory, and that's going to be later on. Like I said, they flew through it. It's grown overnight a lot since then. So like I said, here's the cone. Like I said, we're going to turn off your guys', we're just going to turn off for 3 days. So this is the visual idea. I just went over this a few minutes ago, so I'm not going to go too detailed. But this is your visual, what's going to happen. You know, a lot of tropical storm watches, hurricane warnings and watches for parts of the Florida now. So here is your guys' rain just north of Tampa Bay. You guys can see around 15 inches. Now this is an estimate. It can fluctuate just like the cone and everything else. You know, as time keeps getting closer, the more set in stone it is. You know, pretty much we're still about 48 hours until landfall. 48, 72 hours till landfall. So like anything can be possible. If the cone can move back down and Tampa Bay could be on the right hand side of the storm. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case for you guys. I think it's going to eventually just stay set in stone. I think right now it's pretty set and done. So you guys can see parts of Tampa Bay. You guys are going to be seeing 10 inches around. That's estimated again. On top of surge, Orlando, you guys are going to be seeing around 6 inches. That's estimate. Jacksonville, you guys are around 10 inches. So like I said, very life-threatening damages and life-threatening just overall to people. Like homes can be destroyed. It's definitely, surge is going to be a key. A lot of things are going to be a problem with the storm. So like I said, make sure you stay with your local weatherman, stay with the National Weather Service, and if you guys want to stay updated, follow me on Twitter. I keep updates up there so often. So here is the key messages. This was updated just 40 minutes ago when I was editing this video. So, life-threatening storm surge. Hurricane force winds, flash floods, and possible mudslides are expected to continue through portions of western Cuba today. Devastating winds, damages expected near the core of Ian, which the core is pretty much the center of the storm. So anything that's in the center and the right hand side of the storm is going to be expected wind damaging. Like I said, just because you're not, like, say you live in Miami, you guys are getting squall lines right now, you guys are getting rain from it. You guys can still see those tornadoes spin up. Just because you're not near the storm, you're going to feel the effects still. You know, you're going to get some winds, you know, definitely some rain. But it's not going to be as bad as Tampa Bay and Fort Myers and Clear Waters. Like I said, but going on to number 2, life-threatening storm surge looks increasingly like along much of Florida, West Coast. There were a storm surge warnings in effect, with the highest risk of Fort Myers to Tampa Bay region. Residents in these areas should listen to advice given by the local officials and follow evacuation orders if made for your area. Like I said, residents in the areas should listen to advice given by your local officials and follow evacuation orders if made for your area. Like I said, evacuate, don't wait. You know, a lot of people died due to this stuff because they want to sit around. Now, if you're into weather and tracking it down, do it safely because it is a fun thing. I personally love doing it. I'm a weather geek. I love weather. And I'm trying to take classes just to learn how to do. I know my weather's not the best right now, but, you know, I'm trying to learn how to do some stuff. You know, I'm reading out books and all that just to learn how to do weather. I want to get into meteorology one day, like I said, but that's off topic. Going back on topic. Hurricane force winds are expected in the hurricane warning area in the southwest and central Florida, west central Florida, beginning Wednesday morning with a tropical storm conditions expected by this evening. This evening, I repeat, Tuesday evening. Residents should rush all preparations to complete today, so make sure everything is set and done by today because landfall is possible. Like I said, you're going to start feeling those effects by tonight, so you won't have time to preparate tomorrow or Thursday if the storm makes landfall on Friday. So make sure you're making your preparations right now. If not, you should be done and out of any low-lying areas like Tampa Bay, clear waters. Like I said, stay safe. For heavy rain increased across the Florida Keys, South Florida today, spreading into central and northern Florida tonight and Wednesday into southeast U.S. by Thursday and Friday, likely causing flash urban and small stream flooding. Flooding is expected across central Florida into southern Georgia, the coastal southern Carolina, with widespread moderate to major river flooding expected across central Florida. Like I said, even just because, you know, we're not 100% sure where the storm is going to go afterwards, it could go back in the Atlantic, form a little bit, and then go on the top of the Carolinas. That's still to be determined. We'll probably know set in stone by probably Friday by landfall once it's on there. Now, a lot of models have shifted towards the south, and that's going to cause it to go in the Atlantic and maybe gain some stuff and gain some more intensification. But looking at the spaghetti models, here we go. Now this was the 11 o'clock update on spaghetti models. So you guys could clearly see, you know, you got the European right here, the GFS. This is at the slow today. But the GFS pretty much shows straight, goes back in the Atlantic a little bit, and then pretty much, like I said, the Atlantic is not very. This is the European right here. The European shows something like this. Now, the spaghetti models are not 100% sure, but you know, a lot of the spaghetti models are over in the Atlantic still, and some of them, you know, you got outwired ones. Something is going to push it this way. We're not pretty sure how much that's going to be a possibility, but like I said, anything's possible at this point. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the wrap of the video. I just want to update you guys real fast. Like I said, GFS is a big mess right now. I'm not 100% sure where it's going to be. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the wrap of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, consider subscribing, like, comment, and share this video. I hope you guys stay safe out there as you guys make your preparations to evacuate and to board up stuff and make sure everything's secured. And again, I please ask, do not put a generator in your house. Face it towards your house or in your garage. Have at least 5 feet away from your house and facing away from a house. Your neighbor's house, face it away, face it towards somewhere that no one lives, because people die of carbon dioxide. That's the most leading deaths in a hurricane, because people start their generators on their porch and face it towards their house and start it in their garage. And then the second leading one is just people that go out in the storms and trees fall on them when they die in flooding. But anyways, guys, hope you guys stay safe, and yeah, have a nice day.